Okay, everyone. So I have here a customer of mine. Her name is Fatima. She joins my course, Confident Marital Sex. And through this course, she has been able to overcome vaginismus. She is now able to have pain-free, penetrative sex with her husband. She's able to have sexual intercourse. And she very kindly agreed to do this audio testimonial with me. So thank you so much for joining me, Fatima. How are you?
I'm fine, Alhamdulillah, and thanks for having me here.
Alhamdulillah, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. So, the first thing I want to ask you is what did it feel like when you had vaginismus and when you were struggling with sex? What did it feel like for you?
Well, back then, actually, I didn't know what vaginismus is, and I never thought I was having a medical condition. So, about 2.5 years ago, I got married, and it was a love marriage. Me and my husband were really looking forward for our wedding night, and we had lots of expectations. We thought it was going to be an amazing first time experience, but it didn't turn out as we expected. So, we were not able to consummate marriage, and every time we try, my legs start shaking, I start crying and panicking, and we end up frustrated and we were really tensed up. And day by day, this condition affected me mentally and even emotionally. So I used to be a very extrovert person, but it turned me into a very serious, very silent person, and I try to isolate myself actually from others. And eventually, my situation got even worse because our friends and siblings who got married with us and even later than us, they start having kids and becoming pregnant. So people around us, they start criticizing and judging us as we are living in a very small society. We know each other. So yeah, I will say I was living with depression.
Mm. Yeah, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. And unfortunately, not many people understand what vaginismus is, and it can be very difficult. It can be a very difficult thing to go through when others around you are like expecting you to get pregnant. And it's so important for everyone to realize that everyone's pregnancy journey is their own journey, and we shouldn't be criticizing each other about when are you getting pregnant, because you never really fully understand someone's situation. And so I'm so glad that I realized that this is something that you were struggling with. You were struggling with sex and finding it very painful, and you later on discovered that you were struggling with vaginismus, and you decided to join my course, Confident Marital Sex, to overcome this condition. So my next question to you is, what inspired you to join my course, Confident Marital Sex?
Yeah, so before actually joining this course, I was seeking psychological help because I know I was having lots of fears related to intercourse, and I was taking counseling, which was mostly about releasing stress. And my therapist was saying my situation was caused due to stress. And also, I went to a gynecologist a couple of times, and I have realized that even those professionals, they are not aware of this condition. And I told my gynecologist that I have fear of pain and basically fear of inserting anything inside me, and so she was trying to test down my area to check if there is any problem, but she was unable to examine because I was so afraid. And I remember she said to me, yeah, you the first time is going to be painful, but you have to bear with it. So if you want to save your marriage, you have to bear with the pain.
Mm,
So hearing that made me even more afraid.
yeah,
So I was actually hopeless and helpless at that
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then I was
that's not helpful for anyone to say that to a woman, for a doctor or gynecologist to just tell a woman it's meant to be painful and just bear with it. That's not helpful at all. And if you're listening to this, it's not true. Your first time having sex does not need to be painful. When you learn the right way to have sex, which is what I teach in my course, when you learn how to have sex pain-free the first time, you won't need to experience painful sex the first time, and you don't need to be afraid of it. Sorry to cut you off there. Keep going.
Yeah, so then I was actually doing my own researches. I was searching here and there. I was typing things like sex phobia, fear of sex, how to break hymen without pain, how to lose virginity without pain. And yeah, finally, Alhamdulillah, I came across your YouTube video. So I found out there is a name for this condition, and finally I was saying to myself, yes, this is exactly what I'm going through. And then I found out about your Instagram page and about your online course, and somehow I felt that if anyone can help me with my situation, and explain the reasons behind all this, it's you, because you have experienced it.
Yeah.
So then I messaged you and paid for the course without even having a second thought. So I have to say it was the best decision I have ever taken.
Alhamdulillah, that's so amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And so obviously you've now overcome vaginismus through my course. So my next question I want to know is, what did you find helpful? You joined the course, you watched all the video lessons. What did you find helpful about the course?
Yeah, I would like to say actually that each and every video in the whole, there is 6 module I think in this program, and it is really helpful because it was divided into different phases, and you can walk your way through all the sessions and follow the steps in the lessons and in order. Then for example, in the first phase I got all the answers I was searching for all this time. I have learned about the causes of my fear and how to release it. So by the end of the first phase, I was actually mentally prepared for insertion. And also the course portal is available for me at any time, and you can go through the videos repeatedly and at your own pace. And I found there is a lesson on intention and prayer, which was really helpful because I have learned how to make proper dua using certain names of Allah, and I consistently make those prayers during this journey. And there is a bonus section. There are techniques like emotional tapping and vaginal steaming, and I actually tried steaming, and I have to say it was really helpful.
Amazing.
And yeah, and I have to mention about the private Facebook group. Actually, before joining the Confident Marital Sex, I actually felt very lonely, and I thought I was the only one having this condition. But by being a member of the Facebook group, I have realized that there are lots of women dealing with this condition.
Yeah.
And I think even now there are more than 200 members, and it's a support group where we can share our feelings, our struggles, and progress without others criticizing us. And seeing the story of other women, they having the same issues and they overcoming it, it really inspired me and built my self-confidence very much.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I created the course and I knew that I wanted to have a private Facebook group alongside the course because I knew what it was like to have vaginismus. I felt very lonely having it, and I knew that I wasn't the only one to have it, but I just didn't know of other women who had it at the same time. So having the Facebook group is amazing. It's priceless. It's so valuable to be able to share your experience with other women and ask them questions and get support and feel like you're part of the community. So the Facebook group really is just as valuable as the course itself, if not more so. The next question I want to ask you is, now, alhamdulillah, you worked your way through the course, you completed all the lessons, you've now been able to overcome vaginismus and you can have pain-free sex with your husband. How does it feel now for you, now that you've overcome it? What does it feel like in your life?
Alhamdulillah, now that I am able to consummate my marriage, I feel actually so relieved. Like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and this is actually a huge milestone for both of us. Especially all this time, my husband has been very supportive and very patient, and he even gave the idea of using the facial cup and test tube for dilating. I didn't use dilators. So yes, Alhamdulillah, we feel like God has answered our prayers, and we are actually glad we went through this and we overcame this together. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, that's so amazing. Final question I want to ask you is, would you recommend this course to other women who have vaginismus?
Yes, of course. Yes, this course changed my life, and I can't imagine how my life would be now if I didn't find out about this course. And I personally don't know anyone having vaginismus, and even the society I live in is not aware of this issue. But I believe and I feel that there might be women dealing with this condition, and there might be women struggling and suffering in silence, just like I was before. So by joining this Confident Marital Sex and by joining the Facebook support group, you will know you are not alone in this. You will have a group who will provide you with the emotional support. You will know how you can overcome your biggest fear in life step by step, and you will also know you can overcome vaginismus even if dilators are not available. And yes, you can have painless first time sex, and it's not going to be painful at all. So I would say it's definitely worth every penny to invest in this program. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Fatima. Thank you for once again for agreeing to do this testimonial. Thank you for sharing all of your thoughts about the course. Once again, I'm so happy for you that you've overcome vaginismus. Congratulations once again. And inshallah, whenever the time is right, if you would like to get pregnant, inshallah, Allah blesses you with a healthy pregnancy.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Fatima. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.